Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 130 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison. Thank you for joining me on the number one show for tips and advice on growing a successful membership website. And Happy New Year! This is the first episode of 2018. Hope you've had an awesome holiday break and that you're raring to go to kickstart 2018 the right way with your membership site. And that's really the theme of today's episode. You know, last year, anyone who's been listening to the show for a while might remember that I took a somewhat cynical approach to the beginnings of 2017 in terms of what our podcast episode was about, what the first episode was all about, rather than go down the route of telling you why you should create a membership site in 2017. Instead, I set about trying to convince you not to create a membership site in 2017. Anyone who's been with us for a while will know that I probably spend a little bit more time trying to talk people out of creating a membership site than I do in trying to talk them into creating a membership. And part of the reason for that is that there's a lot of people out there misrepresenting what running a membership site is really like. They sell this dream, this idea that a membership is some sort of silver bullet or golden goose, a shortcut to effortless overnight riches. And honestly, that couldn't be farther from the truth. A membership site is just like any type of business. It requires work. It's simply a business model. Now, yes, it's a business model that we love. It's a business model that's highly leveraged and that's different in so many ways from other types of businesses. But you know, a membership is different to a course or working with clients and so on, in the same way that a butcher's shop is different to a business coach. There's nothing particularly special or magical about membership sites. It's just a different way of doing business. And so we always veer on the side of being more realistic because we see so many people get their hopes dashed, spending and wasting a lot of time and money going down a path they really shouldn't be going down, either because a membership site simply isn't right for them or because they've been manipulated by snake oil salesmen online who made them think that a membership site is something that it isn't. And so that was kind of some of the thinking behind why last year's first episode of the year was about trying to talk you out of starting a membership site. But honestly, I'm not really that cynical. I'm not really that negative. And so you know what? This year I'm going to talk to you about why you might want to think about starting a membership site in 2018 if you haven't already. Now, of course, I know that a lot of you guys listening already have membership sites, so hopefully what this will do is help you to remember some of the reasons why you started your membership and give you a chance to reflect. Because again, sometimes you get so swept up in the day-to-day that you forget about the great things that having a membership site brings to your life and brings to your business. You take that stuff for granted. And so hopefully, even if you do have a membership site, and I'm preaching to the converted, this will help you start off your 2018 a little more positively in terms of your perspective on your membership. So first things first, the first reason why you may want to start a membership in 2018 is, of course, recurring revenue. This is the thing that most people get drawn to the membership model by. The fact that you can get paid over and over and over again, month after month, year after year, with a subscription business rather than a transaction business where you're selling one-off products or you're doing one-off projects for clients. That recurring element is so attractive to so many people, especially when you're looking at something like a membership where you're talking about hundreds or even thousands of members paying you each and every month. Now, the membership model and that recurring revenue is definitely more of a slow burn. It's a bit of a marathon, not a sprint. It can take a while to get momentum and accumulate that recurring revenue. So the great thing is you're not starting from zero each and every month after every project is finished or every launch is done. That customer base just builds and builds and builds and it accumulates. And so too does the amount that you're earning in recurring revenue month on month. So it's slow and steady growth compared to some of the feast and famine type income that you might see if you're working with clients or you're going from course launch to course launch. But that steady, slow growth, just building and building and building over time, is a game changer for businesses, because you're getting away from the volatility of that feast and famine cycle. And that changes so much about your business. It means that your decision making is no longer compromised. How many times, if you work with clients one-on-one or you run course launches, how many times do you make decisions based on the fact that maybe you've had a slow month? Maybe you haven't been able to sign up any new clients or get as many sales this month. And so your decision making becomes about having to put food on the table and pay the bills because you're going through a dry period. When you've got that recurring revenue, you have so much more cliff to walk back on if things start going wrong. If you're working with 5 or 6 key clients where most of your revenue comes from, or if you're launching a course 4 or 5 times a year and you lose 2 or 3 of those clients, or you have a bad launch, that can be catastrophic. I've seen it put people out of business. But with recurring revenue, if you lose a handful of members, of course, you're going to be sad about it. If you're like me, you'll still take every cancellation personally, even though you know that you shouldn't. It still hurts, it still stings. But ultimately, it's not really going to register in terms of the stability and the profitability of your business. You have so much more cliff to walk back on, and your business is a lot more stable. So there's 2 big reasons there, the recurring revenue and what that does just in terms of potential profitability and just in terms of not having to start from zero every month, not having to constantly chase the next client or the next big launch, but also the stability that that recurring revenue brings and what that means in terms of how you run your business, in terms of being able to predict where your business will be in 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, and so on. So the financial side of things and the stability that comes from recurring revenue are definitely 2 big reasons why you may look to start a membership site in 2018. Another reason would be if you want to serve a larger portion of your audience. When you're working with people one-to-one, you are, by design, limited in terms of how many people you can help, how many people you can reach, how big of an impact you can have with your work. Because your capacity to have an impact and to serve is limited by your ability to grind out billable hours. With a membership site, you don't have those constraints because everything that you do has the potential to reach hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people. If you're creating content, if you're serving in a community, then you don't have the restraints that you typically will do if you're working one-on-one with clients. And so there's a great deal of fulfillment and personal satisfaction that comes from being able to serve more people, be part of more people's journeys, affect more change on a larger scale and have a greater impact. So if that's a driving factor behind what you do, then that could be a definite sign that a membership site could be certainly worthy of consideration in 2018 for you. You want to serve a larger portion of your audience. If you have more people coming to you for help and wanting you to help them, and right now you simply can't, you don't have a vehicle for doing that because your business is centered around one-to-one delivery, not one-to-many, then you might want to look at a membership site this year. So that's reason number 3, serving more people and having a larger impact. Reason 4 is that a membership will totally change the type of work that you do. Generally, most memberships involve some form of e-learning and some form of community. And so your role as a membership site owner becomes 2 parts. Let's put aside the general stuff that goes with running a business, admin, accounting, and all that sort of stuff. Any business is going to have those hats that you need to wear. But primarily, your core roles as a membership site owner will be that of a content creator and a community leader. So if you love the idea of your day-to-day job primarily being to create content, whether it's courses, whether it's tools, tutorials, live training, Q&As, that sort of stuff, creating content about a subject you're passionate about, you're knowledgeable about, you have experience with. And that's one side of your role. And the other side is simply hanging out with other like-minded people, answering their questions, supporting them, chatting to them, getting to know them. That's going to be the main part of your day-to-day job. So if that sounds like your idea of the absolute perfect business, if that's the type of work you want to do, and your current business doesn't allow you the opportunity to really do that sort of stuff, if you're working one-on-one with clients, if the work you do is completely subject to individual client needs, then the idea of changing the nature of the work you do by becoming a membership site owner can certainly be an extremely valid reason for deciding to build and start a membership site in 2018. A large part of that is about fulfillment, personal fulfillment and enjoyment of what you do. And that brings us to our fifth reason to start a membership this year. And that is the ability to really flex your muscles and tap in to the entirety of your toolkit. Now, my background is in running a digital marketing agency where we did graphic design, web design, online marketing strategy. Now, while there were an endless list of awesome things that we could do with our business, typically what you want to do and what your clients want from you don't always match up. If you're a designer, if you build websites, how many times do you get stuck churning out the same boring business cards or the same boring 5-page website that's overly corporate, that really doesn't require you to get out of first gear in terms of what you know you can do for people? We don't always get the opportunity in our businesses to really demonstrate what we can do, to really use the entire gamut of our skills, knowledge, experience, and expertise. And that is because it all depends on your clients, if you're working with clients, actually wanting you to tap into the full range of what's in your toolkit. With a membership site, you get to kick it into as high a gear as you want, to delve in to all the different things that you can do, all the stuff you can bring to the table, because it's entirely up to you how you build your membership site, what you provide through it, what you deliver. Again, you're not depending on individual client needs, limiting the scope of what you're actually using from your arsenal. With your membership site, you get to tap into as much of your skills, knowledge, experience, and expertise as you want. And that can be so fulfilling, because when you are working one-on-one with clients and you know that they're not getting the best from you because they're not asking you to use all the tools in your toolkit and to really dig deep into everything that you have the potential to do. When you're doing that, it can become very boring and very frustrating. It's wasted potential, it's wasted skills. But as a membership site owner, you have more opportunity to really let loose and really bring it. And that can be so fulfilling, especially if you feel like you're stuck in a bit of a rut or a bit of a dead end, either in your current business or if you're employed within your current job. Okay, so those are 5 pretty compelling reasons, hopefully you'll agree. Number 1, recurring revenue. Game changer in terms of cash flow, in terms of profitability. Number 2, a business that is more stable and more predictable. Getting rid of the stresses and the pressures that come with crazy clients and demanding deadlines, and moving away from compromised decision making because you're no longer worried about those short-term circumstances. Number 3, the ability to serve a larger audience and make more of an impact with what you do. Number 4, changing the type and the nature of the work that you do day to day by becoming a content creator and a community leader. And number 5, the added fulfillment that comes from really using everything in your toolkit and knowing that you are putting your best work out there. And number 6 is that it is simply a lot of fun to run a membership site. Some of that is because of some of the reasons we've talked about, the fulfillment, the added fulfillment you get from doing the kind of work that you love doing for a wider audience and tapping into all of your skills and all that sort of stuff. But you know, the day-to-day is just a lot of fun. When you don't have deadlines to hit for your clients, when your working hours don't need to be 9 to 5 because your members aren't 9 to 5. When you have the opportunity to meet up with your members, by far one of my favorite things. If I'm traveling around, the ability to see 2 or 3 of our members in pretty much every city we go to go out, grab drinks, have lunch, have pizza, have coffee, get to know these guys, chat to them, develop relationships, meet them face to face. It's so much fun. And I personally love the fact that each and every day I have an excuse to live, eat, sleep and breathe the topic of membership websites, because it's something that I find fun, it's something I'm passionate about, it's something I enjoy. And so if you have something you're passionate about, something that you love talking about, then how much fun will it be to build a business that affords you the opportunity to do that each and every day? So definitely a bit more of a positive episode to start off 2018. There's no doubt countless other reasons we could go through as to why you might want to start a membership site this year. And if you are an experienced membership site owner, I'd love you to share some of your own reasons why you love the membership model and why you think other people should potentially start one. Hit me up on social at Membership Guys. That's on Twitter, at Membership Guy on Instagram, or if you're on Facebook, head into our free Facebook group, search for Membership Mastermind on Facebook, it'll take you to the group, or type in talkmemberships.com into your browser, that'll redirect you to our Facebook group. Share some of your reasons why people should start a membership site in 2018, and I'll be sure to highlight and to shout out and share with our audience some of the best reasons you guys put forward. And if you have been on the fence, you have been considering starting a membership site, then hopefully this episode has helped you make your decision one way or another. Be sure to head over to themembershipguys.com. We've got lots of free resources for people who are at that beginning stage that'll help you figure out whether you should create a membership site and to start to put your plan in action. And of course, we have the full membership roadmap and a whole bunch of courses and resources over at membersiteacademy.com. That's going to make that entire journey a million times easier. So if you're really serious about starting a membership site in 2018, membersiteacademy.com is where you need to be. All right, that's it from me for this episode. I'm looking forward to 2018 with you guys. I so appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today. Hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back again next week with another episode of the Membership Guys podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out the membersiteacademy.com. The Membersite Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing and running a membership website. So whether you're still figuring out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membersite Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement and advice, the Membersite Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage and grow a successful membership website. So check it out at membersiteacademy.com.